Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. I don't claim to know everything about video games, but by the time we're done, I will know everything. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to 1982. It's January, and we're playing all the games that were released at some point in 1982. We last played the text-only golf game. Let's see where we're going now.
Man, listen up. Your Coleco's head-to-head electronic sports games. And you know what competition is all about. Against the computer or head-to-head. Right. Head-to-head football, remember, the offense can pass. But you can blitz. Basketball, shoot, grab the rebound, pass. Hockey, watch that into the crease. Move your goalie, move your goalie. Baseball, check his average. You may decide to swing away.
There's the one.
Soccer, pass. Fake out the goalie and score. Now, how you gonna play them? Head-to-head. Head-to-head electronic sports from Coleco.
Playing head-to-head. This is the latest handheld by Coleco, head-to-head electronic baseball, and we've already seen one other on the show. This is another one. If you're not woken up now, hopefully that commercial woke you up. This is a very unique handheld that it's meant to play two players simultaneous. It's not the first handheld. We've seen others. Let's take a look at the artwork for head-to-head electronic baseball. So it's two people at a time, and if you notice that the handheld itself has you slip in your fingers underneath, and they're supposed to be covered up so you can't, the other person doesn't know what kind of pitch you're throwing at them before you hit the at the bottom where you are able to bat the baseball. It only uses two 9-volt alkaline batteries, and then if we look over, this is like the leaflet after you open up the box. Everything from stealing, bunting, tagging, hit and fun, double plays, curveballs, power hits. Oh man, this is a whole lot of sort of. Whenever we boot this up, you'll see how it works. We're gonna be able to see the top of it, but we won't be able to see all the details here, where you slide your fingers in to push the buttons to play the game. Yeah, I just saw in the chat, we have seen text baseball, and so we might get text pinball in the future. Who knows? If we're playing every game, you never know what we'll see. So this game is another one by Coleco that is their two-player head-to-head series. There it is, the console itself. You can play with two people at a time. This one is kind of a slimmer, dumbed-down version compared to other baseball games. Specifically, the interchangeable cartridge handheld, the Milton Bradley Microvision. We played a better version on that one. At least baseball in a handheld form. All right, so let's put in the palm of our hand head-to-head electronic baseball, released at some point in January 1982. Now, this is obviously a simulator of the game, but you can see it's just going to be lighting up certain bulbs on the system. So there is no LED, there is no LCD, there is no vacuum fluorescent display. This is literally just lights for how the game is played. That's why I was using the two alkaline batteries. So whenever you play, you can see the light starts at the top, and then when you push a button down the bottom, it sends a pitch down, and then someone else is at the bottom of the bottom buttons deciding what kind of hit they want. But whenever you hit the ball, it's only going from first, second, or third. You actually never see the ball go in play. All you do is it's depending on the timing of you making pushing the button when the light comes down determines which base you're going to be on. And it obviously keeps score at the top of the screen, but the gameplay itself is very, very limited. When we saw something better on the Microvision, if you want to speak in specifically baseball. Yeah, I don't know if the bulbs went bad, but yeah, good point. Because most of these were all in one, you know, when you played on the LCD screen. So let's go again. Hit it. And you can see at the top, it's keeping track of outs, strikes, innings, and you can even say how you want the ball to curve to the side, left or right. And you can see where I'm striking and missing. Go. And how fast or slow you want the ball to hit. But that's pretty much it. Now, while the simulation doesn't do it justice, you really have to put it in the palm of your hand. It does give you a kind of an idea of what we're looking for in the handheld. So for a game that would be really hard to play if someone was on the channel with me head-to-head, I still would give this one, of all the handhelds we played, the two-player capability is pretty good. But because I find that the gameplay is a lot better on a Nintendo Game & Watch handheld or on the interchangeable cartridges like the Intech Select-A-Game and the Milton Bradley Microvision, I'm going to give it subpar, 2.5 stars, considering all the other handhelds video games. It is just below the average range. That's true, yeah, I'm with you. No Game & Watch. All right, after the handheld, let's see where we're heading next. This, by the way, was our very first handheld from 1982, the first one we checked out, so there you go. All right, next game is going to be on the TRS-80 color computer, and this is Laser Star and Helo Battle. Helo Battle. It was part of a compilation. We have no information as far as boxes, just a few screenshots, so we're popping in and playing some Laser Battle and Helo Battle. This compilation was released individually at some point in 1981, but we're going to play both of them because this is the two-parter that came out in 1982. Play some Helo Battle, and we'll just back out and go into the other one because it's basically two basic levels. There you go, by Jarb Software. It's great seeing these computers that really don't have an advanced, super amazing sound chip like on the Apple give us some intros like that. Okay, so we're in. I'm in control of the helicopter, believe it or not. And down at the bottom, it looks like someone's playing Missile Command, but I am the helicopter that's moving around. So while the frame rate is not ideal, it's very, very slow. I am controlling and moving a helicopter, avoiding the shots. But how bizarre is that? It's Missile Command in reverse. We're not shooting down anything. We are avoiding being shot. I have to think of all the games we played. We've avoided airplanes shooting us, but not from this kind of view. We're usually the one at the bottom in command of the missiles. So, bizarre idea, but you can see it's kind of a slow movement frame rate, and it also feels like I'm not getting any scoring. It's just you dodge the bullets, and if you dodge the bullets, you're doing good, but if you blow up, then you lose, I guess. This is another one of those games that's programmed in BASIC on the Coco is running what seems like a very slow frame rate, and this is North America. We're not in the PAL region running 50 hertz. It just feels like I'm chugging along. Oh, we're getting a nice explosion, though. I don't know if I did good or bad. Okay, and it moves on, I guess, to another level, and the castle moves to the side, down at the bottom. So that was the first part of the compilation. Let's check out the other side, which is Laser Star. I know the frame rate is so slow, and it has a really good joystick for the Coco, so it's just a shame. Here we go. I don't have high hopes now after seeing the first part of the compilation. What's going to happen with the Laser Star? So there you go. It was released individually in 1981, but the compilation was in 82. Yeah, I dig the explosions. We saw a few others on the Coco that looks cool too. All right, name of player 1. Okay, so this is a 2-player only game, and Chiptune's with me. Last person in chat will be player 2. We're doing a short game for sure, which means we're going to need 2 joysticks plugged in. I'm going to be controlling them at the same time. So here it is, Laser Star. I'm controlling both players. They're very, very small ships that are orbiting around the sun. If that's a sun, or it's a space station. But the space station is shooting out lasers randomly around the outside, and there is no gravity. You think for a sec we're playing a game like Space War that's slowly moving us into the star, but no, it is, I'm just flying however I want, and just don't get shot by the lasers coming out from the center. But that's it. It's, again, very, very slow frame rate, because we're running BASIC on the Coco. Not the only reason, but a few of the ones we run in BASIC, they move like this, but oh my gosh, it's just so choppy. Yeah, so for the time, I'm going to have to say those, while it's a compilation of 2 games, it's not the best games. I'm going to say they're bad. Is it something you could find enjoyable on the Coco? Sure, but we've seen lots better on the Coco. So I'll say 2 stars for Laser Star, and actually I'll say 1.5. 1.5 for Laser Star and Helo Battle. All right, so after that, let's see where we're going next. Our next game is on the Atari home computer. This is Lost Colony. Let's take a look at Lost Colony, starting with the box. Wow, there's a lot going on with this box. This is by Acorn Software Products, which is still in North America. At least this release is North America, and this is by David Feidelberg. Way to go, David. But this game is based on what was originally called a game called Sumer in the 60s on mainframe systems. It is one of the first resource management games, obviously in a science fiction setting. So flip it on the back and it says, the settlers of Warren's world, a small planet colonized by representatives from Earth, waited in vain for the return of their space vessels. The first group, composed mostly of farmers, was ill-equipped to tame an alien world. After a year of struggle during which many died, they reached a subsistence standard of living and then decided to elect an economic manager with wide powers to control manufacturing and allocation of their resources. So it's a science fiction themed resource management game. This is basically a bare bones game of Sumer, which you played text only in the 60s. So just bear that in mind. It's another game that's like a throwback or an homage to what you would have played on a mainframe computer. So we're in 1982, you can guess how well it's going to age. And there it is, the 5 1/4 floppy disk. Looks like the first version was 81. We're going to play the re-release, which is 1982 or January 1982. Yes, there's a lot going on that box front. And we do have a manual. The manual looks like it's from the 60s as well, typed out on a typewriter. So this is both for Atari and IBM. The one on IBM is called Warren's World, so we will see that coming up next. But Lost Colony is a complex simulation. Suggested you read the documentation carefully before attempting serious play. You do need to know commands, and it's based on a text-only game. So that wait a second, does that say Kevin Costner? Special thanks to Kevin Comer. Okay, I was going to say, you're going to thank Kevin Costner for the manual? All right, let's pop it and play some Lost Colony, released at some point in January 1982 by Andrew Bardario. Way to go, Andrew. This is another strategy game that is really difficult to get into considering the other ones we played. We're very spoiled here on Chronologically Gaming. We've seen the best and the best right when it's released. So when something comes out that's trying to pay an homage to something in the 60s, doesn't do so well. So there you go, Warren's World, Lost Colony. We go by the cover of the box. So it's Lost World. That's why we're here in the L's. All right, hit start to begin. Oh, we get to use the start button on our Atari home computer. And then we wanted to do a new game. What level of difficulty is ranged 1 to 10? 10 is most difficult. We're doing 1 for sure. The other thing that makes this game not as impressive as the other strategy games is it's one player. So you can see the game begins. It's a lot of menus that you deal with and text. The best thing you're probably going to get is the map of the full colony of where you are in space, or the planet, and then you also get these bar graphs, and that's it. That's all you have for graphics. And then all you do is make decisions. So it's saying we have 2,008 job seekers. Where do you want to distribute labor? And so you, as the manager of the colony, are determining what your population is going to be, what the employment rate is, consumed goods, your cash, living standard areas, and then you make all these decisions within the game. So this is one player, though. We've played games like this, the same genre, but you can play with multiple people, sometimes up to 20, where you hot seat in and out of playing the game, like taking turns. So that's all I really wanted to show for Lost Colony, because that's all it is. It's merely just making the decisions. So for all the games we've seen at this time, I'm still going to say it's bad, because even if you were into this, there's much more out there you can play. So we'll say 2 stars for Lost Colony. It is an excellent game when it came out in the 60s, but it's 1982. Let's press forward and see our next game. All right, we're going to the arcade, and this is Monster Bash by Sega. Really cool game. Let's take a look at the artwork for Monster Bash. This is the advertisement flyer in North America. Happy birthday, Drac. Oh, creepy. And we got the Wolfman, Frankenstein, and Dracula. And it looks like they're having a birthday party. He turns 551 years old today. Sega's Monster Bash video games full of spooky fun and frolic for all types of players. There's Dracula, Bats, Frankenstein, Wolfman, Chameleon Man, I didn't know he was a thing, and his spiders. Use warp doors, stone stairs, and color change to spot the notorious monsters through creepy castles, haunted houses, and ghoulish graveyards. So this is another leaflet of the inside of the advertisement manual. You can see the different arcade cabinets there, with the Chameleon Man's graveyard, Frankenstein's castle, Dracula's house. This has 3 different stages that you can play, and it even breaks down here. They're trying to make it like a cartoon theme. Dracula's house, the player is Little Red. That's our hero, Little Red. A wily redheaded guy who chases Dracula throughout the 5-story haunted mansion. And then when you go to Frankenstein's castle, Little Red enters the Hulking Frankenstein, the castle of Hulking Frankenstein, which looks like it has more stairways and elevators. And then Chameleon Man's graveyard is more of an open-ended map. And then another artwork of someone playing the game while the ghosts are around them. And here we go. This is where we're actually going to be in. We're going to be in Japan because it was first released in Japan by Sega at some point in January 1982. And there it is. The advertising flyer that they have is even hitting more on the cutesy theme. Yeah, I can see that. Creature from the Black Lagoon is what it should have been, but they couldn't do it. Licensing. Gotta love it. And we flip it over on the back. You can see everything's in Japanese, but it explains the characters, has them in all their pixel glory. Shows you how to play, what you're supposed to do, and the objectives. You have candles you light up, and you're going to destroy the monsters. And there it is, the arcade cabinet for Monster Bash. Keeping it simple, but you can see it's a vertical-oriented CRT. There's our PCB, and the control panel looks like it's an 8-way? No, 4-way joystick with the zap button. And our arcade marquee for Monster Bash. Yes. Now, if you're a Sega Master System fan, this game is eventually going to turn into Monster House. So if you love Monster House, most likely you're going to love this, which was first in the arcades. And it looks like we got a 2-board or 1-board version. We're going to go to Japan and play some Monster Bash, released at some point in January 1982 by Steve Hanawa. Or Hanawa. Steve Hanawa. And we're in. Oh, nice. They got a little cutscene. I am the hero. And there's the 3 different levels. I'm not controlling this. This is all attract mode with the 3 different monsters. This is our very first platformer that we've seen for 1982. There's no jumping in the game, but it's still from the side view, kind of like Space Panic. But the very first time we've seen this style of game in 1982. Oh, this is great. The cutscene is really long. It's even showing you a little bit how you play. You find the flashing sword. After you get that power up, then you can go kill the monsters. And right over here above my head, it's really hard to see, but the instructions around the arcade cabinet say you defeat Dracula, Frankenstein, and Chameleon Man, the one they had to make up, with a super zap. To get supercharged, you must do 2 things. First, touch candles to light them and energize the magic sword. Second, touch the magic sword while it's flashing. Shoot or avoid monsters, guards, bats, wolfmen, and spiders. To avoid monsters and guards, use warp doors, jump zones, stairs, and color change spots in the graveyard. Keep an eye on the moving cloud. When the cloud covers the moon, the super zap is lost. Regain super zap powers by relighting candles and touching the flashing magic sword. Earn bonus points by lighting all 5 candles in Dracula's house. And to continue where you left off. Yes, we can keep going. All right, let's put a coin in. And push start. That sounded like sound samples for the enemy. Okay, so for controls, I'm using a 4-way joystick, so Little Red is the hero. I can move up, left, right, and down, I believe, and fire, right? Yeah, okay. So you have different candles you can light up. And it looks like Drax coming at me, but I have the flashing sword there. Let's get the flashing sword, and now that I'm flashing, I gotta hurry up and get to Drac and vanquish. Yes! We're doing way too good at this game. Now we're in Frankenstein. It says jump down the zones. Oh, we're already flashing? No, it's gone. Okay. So it looks like we have a door we can go in that'll lead to the top door. So they get different places to warp. Uh-oh. The wolf is dodging my shots. Uh-oh, this doesn't look good. Oh, nice. Okay, so on the right and left sides, it's almost like I wouldn't say an elevator, but you have a way to drop down to different floors. Even Frank can do it. Okay. And they won't let me tag him, but they're being a little generous with the way you attack and move. And the theme is great. Let's see if we can take him out. Got him. And then can we get... Oh, nope. We got to get another one because the sword only lets you shoot once, I guess. So you get supercharged from the sword, and then let's go. Can we shoot him here? Got him. I have not played this game ever. I played Monster House for the Master System, and the first level is similar to Monster House. These other ones, though, are very different. I was going to say, we're doing really good. And then we died. So now we're in the graveyard with Chameleon Man. This is a good change of pace. Still using the 4-way joysticks, so a little trickier. But the top-down view's awesome. Let's see what the pads do. Warps me? Oh, it changes the colors. Okay. How do we get the flat? Oh, we gotta get to the light in the middle, so I gotta make my way to the center. Chameleon Man sticks his tongue out. Yeah, I dig the animation too. It's nice. Alright, so game over. Does that mean I can continue? So here we go. Putting a coin in and push and start. Oh, I didn't follow instructions. You're supposed to hold zap and push continue at the same time. So the zap button is what I should have pressed. But we're back here at the beginning. Looks like Drac went downstairs. You can see the warps that are around. He's going back up again. He's running away from me because he knows I'm going to kill him. Okay, he ran away. Let's go back again. Oh, he's red. I don't know what that means. Do I need to hit him again? Go around this side quickly. Nice. Picked it up and killed him at the same time. Yeah, this is a load of fun. Now, it's no jumping like Donkey Kong, but still, the idea of you have an objective you need to complete. It gives you different things around the room to finish, and while it's not scrolling, it's on a single screen. It's still a really cool idea that you take the power-up and you have an enemy to take out, or a boss to take out, in 3 different levels, too. Yeah, and there goes Frank. All right, let's take out the Chameleon Man. Color change spots. So does that mean Chameleon Man changes? Doesn't do anything to him. He doesn't care. Oh, I see. It changes the map up a little bit. Got it. All right, so we're there, and now we take our sword. And then going for Chameleon. Oh, man, he's running fast. Come here, buddy. Oh, and he touched this before we could kill him with the super zap. Can we do it again? I think they just did the color change floors because it's Chameleon Man. Oh, man. Now that one appeared out of nowhere. We do know how to continue if I can follow the directions. The games that we've seen in the arcades that allow you to continue, you just put some money in and go, but not here. Okay, let's do it again. He's gonna run. Making a run for it. He's hiding around the same spot. No, and I missed the shot. Okay, we can go back though. Getting another one. What happened? I don't know. Oh, an enemy appeared right in the same spot. All right, so here we go. Press zap and start at the same time. It worked. Yes. That would be the very first time we've continued a game using a button combination. We were able to continue where we left off using a combination of certain buttons. Oh my gosh, they ganged up on me. Obviously, when we finish this 3rd screen of the arcade game, it's just going to repeat ad nauseum. I do want to see what the end is. Similar to what we had in Fantasy. You played several different screens, and then you got to see an ending of sorts. Alright, which way you going, buddy? No! With one lick of his tongue, he removed the super zap. Alright, I need to get up there. The candle's burning down. Uh-oh. Oh, no! Chameleon can go in there? Okay. Well, even though we didn't see the ending, you can see the 3 screens of Monster Bash, and we have not seen what is all the games in store of 1982. So at this point, we've seen everything from before. This is a great game, very fun to play. And for an arcade game, it's the atmosphere, ambiance, and the way they have an objective to play. I'd say it's excellent. 4 stars for sure. Is it one of the best games you could play? That's debatable. Going up there as high as that, I'd say, I'll also say 4 stars. 4 stars is good for Monster Bash. An excellent title. All right, and with that, let's press forward and see our next game. Oh, from one to another. This one's going to be a good one. This is the latest on the Magnavox Odyssey 2, the first game we've seen for the Magnavox Odyssey 2.
I'm up to my eyeballs in a mine shaft with Odyssey 2's new
Up to my eyeballs.
Quick Pete, escape up the ladder, smash the boulders. Now, grab the elusive key too. And the keyboard lets you change mazes to make the mine shaft even more menacing. Pickaxe Pete from Odyssey 2, where the keyboard is the key to greater challenge.
Buy Odyssey, get $82 worth of free games.
The Wizard of Odyssey works if it's a fantasy game, but this is Pickaxe Pete.
Wizard of Odyssey. What video game are you up to now?
Oh, I'm up to my eyeballs.
Yeah, why is he... First of all, why is he up to his eyeballs? And then second of all, why is he playing Pickaxe Pete? He needs to be playing some fantasy games, because he's the Wizard of Odyssey. All right, so this is Pickaxe Pete for the Magnavox Odyssey 2. Let's check out Pickaxe Pete, starting with the box. Oh, look at that. Fantastic. Really makes me think of Miner 2049er on the front, but the box art is very, very catching. It says expanded memory. I wonder how many it is. Thrills, chills, and spills as Pickaxe Pete strikes it rich in the misty mountain mine. And we flip it over on the back. You can see the different screens that are available, but just like the other games on Magnavox Odyssey 2, they allow you to change the level and make different things because it has the full keyboard. You're Pickaxe Pete, the legendary prospector who struck it rich in the fabled Misty Mountain Mine. The Odyssey 2, the excitement of a game, the mind of a computer. Same ad they had for Philips Video Pack. And for other artwork, we have also the cartridge. You can see it's after the game is booted up, you press 0 through 9 because there's 9 different mazes that you can start with. So 9 different stages that you can start with. And that's all we have for artwork. Yeah, we'll get to that one for sure. And here's the manual for Pickaxe Pete. Love the manuals they do for the Magnavox Odyssey 2. This honestly has a lot of the quality of Atari and Intellivision. You can tell that they put a lot into it, and they also brand all their games. I know they're all by Ed Averitt. Ed Averitt is the Magnavox Odyssey 2, but they make all the games look like they're part of a family of games, which is awesome. How do we begin? Well, you got giant pictures of what the power button is. Okay, we got it. To make sure the power button's turned off. All right, whenever the game starts, you can push any number on the numeric section of the Odyssey 2 keyboard. Each number will generate a different playing field. And the screen will display Pickaxe Pete. There he is, in one of the caverns of the Misty Mountain Mine. 3 doors leading to deeper parts of the mine are also displayed. Gold-bearing rocks burst through doors at random intervals. So you got to use a little of your imagination, similar to Atari games. But the doors are just solid green or pink. And then you can see Pickaxe Pete in the middle. There's our axe that's purple. On the left side is the ladders. And then all the circles are the rocks. So you use the joystick. There it is, just right here above my head. And then it has one button very similar to the Atari joystick. You move it to the left-hand control to make Pickaxe Pete walk to the left, and then to the right to walk to the right. Ladders appear at random times. You use the joystick up to climb ladders. If he comes to a break in one of the horizontal cavern lines, he falls down and doesn't die. Bear that in mind. We're playing a game this early on, and you can fall, but you don't die. There's no fall damage. Why, oh why they added it later, I don't know. Push the joystick forward and Pickaxe Pete will climb a ladder. If he comes to a break, he falls. And he's okay. And he can strike gold every time you hit it with his pick. Now, really taking nods from Donkey Kong, I'm guessing. You know, the hammer. Because that's all you're going to do. Whenever you find the hammer, you bash it up and down just like Mario or the brave carpenter did. Pickaxe Pete's so strong, he picks up... he keeps breaking every once in a while. If the Pickaxe Pete gets bowled over by a boulder, the game's over. That's it. There are more or less safe places to stay in each of the playfields. The trick is to find them. So every time you hit a boulder, you strike it rich and get gold, and that's where you get your points. You can dodge boulders if you move the joystick and press the action button. When you move the joystick, position Pickaxe Pete's hands and indicate the move he'll make when you press the action button. Now this is where it comes into interesting play. It's showing the joystick position and then what's going to happen on the screen. So if you go up, he jumps up like it shows on the right side. If you go down, he actually slides down. If you're up and diagonal to the left, he jumps up and dives to the side. If you're up and right, he dives to the right. And then if you go down and right, he slides. He slides on his stomach on the platforming game. So this is a true not side-scrolling, but a 2D platforming game where you're able to jump around and have a lot of control of the character while you're jumping. And bear in mind, it's by Ed Averitt, who also did Monkey Shines. That was the very first time we ever saw any game that was a platform game you could jump in at home. And this is the next iteration of it. When two boulders collide, they might uncover a pick, which remains on screen. And there's our pick. Looks like an arrow. When you get the pick, then you can break all the blocks. When you lose a pick, colliding with boulders may uncover another one. Another get-rich-quick opportunity. Keys to dive to deeper regions of the mine will be seen flying in the air. And there's no example of the key, but you can get the idea what a key looks like. When it starts flashing, you can unlock it and move to another area. And you move deeper and deeper. There it is. There's an example of the key. And the deeper mines just mean it changes out the layout. When Pete goes through the door, the playing field changes. The tempo of the game slows and rebuilds as he makes new gold strikes. The color of the new playing field will be the same as the color of the door. And there it is, you warping to a new level. If they try to go to a door without a key, you can get good and stuck. You'll be at the mercy of the next boulder to roll along. Hint for when a ladder leads directly to a door and pickaxe Pete's without a key. Climb halfway up the ladder, move the joystick to make a short jog along the next grid line, then push it forward to use the action button to jump up. You'll be in the next level. It takes some practice, but the added maneuverability makes it worthwhile. So there it is. You can actually jump diagonally up to the top. It explains there. And there's our scoring. When you evade a boulder, you get a point. And then striking gold with a pick, getting a new pick, getting a key, or going through a door with the key is the most points. And then it says the winner is who scores the highest number of points, which this is a single-player only game. You're just going to have to jot down what your score is. Then your buddy takes over and plays his pickaxe Pete. That's right. We're going to see 2049er this year. So maybe mining's a thing. I think it's because of the platforming. We got Donkey Kong that started this, and everyone's like, "Oh, we got to do stuff from this view. It's awesome." Striking gold with a pick, getting a new pick, getting a key, and then going through the door. And then 6 question marks in the lower end of the screen ask for the name of the high player. So you can actually, whenever you get a high score, and they've done this on Magnavox Odyssey 2 games, since it's a keyboard, you can type in your full name to put in the high score, which is kind of cool. And there you can see at the bottom, Mike got the high score in this screenshot. And then they also have, what is this? Oh, these are ratings. So whatever your score is, this is what they say. If you get a score of 800 points, you founded a dynasty. And there's no awards, though. They don't have patches like in Atari or Activision. There's no... Where's the Magnavox Odyssey rewards when you take a picture of your high score? That's what was missing. It's still pretty cool. All right, let's pop in and play some Pickaxe Pete, released at some point in January 1982. Ed Averitt, as always, developed it, and this is by Magnavox Philips. Here we go. So which game do we want? We can pick between 0 and 9. It doesn't matter. It's just different game mode or different levels look different. Okay, so we're in. Now, this game, I have to say, is one of the best ways to play a platformer so far. Let me just show you this. Whenever we move around, the character with the action button gives us the best jumping ability. I know I have the axe now to blow up rocks, but you can see it's about to go out. The axe is about to go away. Okay, now it's gone. Now I have nothing but moving around and jumping, maneuvering to get around. Oh, there's the key. Go, go, go. Now, can we get up there? Looks like we're going to wait for the ladder. Oh, the key already disappeared. Darn. But we do have an axe down below. You can see how I can take my character and I can duck. I can jump up high. I can move there. I can jump. I can move down and slide. So you can slide on your belly. This game, I would even say, controls better than Donkey Kong. And that's in the arcade, which is a real testament to Ed Averitt, who did this. Of all the platformers we played, this one controls the best. Can we get up there? Oh, it looks like no. Oh, and our key disappeared again. You can see it's all appearing randomly, but the platforming is awesome. There's another one. They even have animation as you're dodging the boulder. Nice touch. But you stay, you break up the bricks, you get points. The doors that keep turning and making more boulders appear is where you're going to be exiting to go to a new stage. But you can't do that until you get the key. When the key appears randomly, you got to pick it up, and I'm not seeing it yet. Maybe I should make my way to the top. All right, let's see, climbing up here. So what was first established with games like Apple Panic, which is taking this perspective to play the game from a side view, and a character moves around and climbs up ladders, and then they change the... Oh, I missed the key. Let's see if we can wait. What's going to happen to that one? Good. Give me this. It disappears so fast. And another pickaxe appeared down below. I'm going to wait up top and see if we can see another key appear and go to another level. Got it. And now dodge. Got it. And now we go to the purple stage. I'm being totally honest. This game controls better as a platformer and gives you more maneuverability as the character. It still is giving us, well, I mean, to critique platformers at this point is a little harsh because, you know, they're so new. Whenever you make a jump, you're committed to the jump. You can't change. Like, whenever I jump a certain way on any platformer so far, you're going to go that direction. You can't change it. But I do have the ability to use the joystick to move and dodge. And it just feels more dynamic. And it feels a lot better. Considering we played the other one, Monkey Shines, that was pretty stiff. This one feels worlds better. It's like he really worked on the mechanic to make it better. Now, while the character controls so well, the game itself is pretty limited, because as we're playing, everything's on this single screen playfield. Oh, can I get it? No, I just missed it. And so the gameplay itself doesn't have that much depth, but it is very fun to play while you're here. Pretty much giving you the incentive of you got the hammer in Donkey Kong, you're just going to destroy everything. Oh, no. There you go. So that's Pickaxe Pete for the Magnavox Odyssey 2, of the first Magnavox Odyssey game we played, and I believe one of the first console games we played from 1982. Pickaxe Pete is exceptional. While it is only on one screen, the play control is top-notch. We already said Monkey Shines was good. This one's even better, I'd say, with the play control. Now, the gameplay itself is it's a little shallow, but still a lot of fun. If you had some friends you wanted to play, it doesn't give you the multiplayer ability, but I'd still say this is an excellent title for the time. Now, if we look ahead in the future, I know 1982 brings us one of the best platformers of the year that's definitely going to get 5 stars, and that's Pitfall. And this is a game that is giving you the playability to take the side view and turn it into something that gives you a few hours of enjoyment. So I'm going to say it's definitely above average considering the other games we've seen. I'm going 4 stars for Pickaxe Pete. It is an awesome game for all the games we played up to this point. All right, now let's see what our next game is after Pickaxe Pete. We're next going to the Commodore VIC-20. This is Snakeout. Oh, good shout out. Yeah, Tron on the 2600. Yeah, we'll be seeing that one too. Let's take a look at Snakeout. This has no box. Another one that we're just going to pop in and play. A little Snakeout by Cliff Dudzik. Released at some point in January 1982. What's going to happen? I don't know. Looks like it's on tape, which means we're fast forwarding this sucker. Now, I don't know what to expect. So here we go. Snakeout's actually 3 games in one. It includes a 1-player Snakeout, 2-player, and 2-player Trapper. To begin, you pick the game you wish to play, select the speed, and how many rounds you want to go through. Okay. 1-player Snakeout is blocks ranging from 10 to 90. I'm guessing that's your points, and there's spiders that appear on the screen. Red snake is what you control with the Z and X keys, so no joystick, only keyboard. Direct your snake toward the blocks, eat as many as possible. Don't eat yourself, the spiders, or the score at the top of the screen, or the yellow wall around the playfield. If you do, your snake will have a severe stomachache. And then if you do 2-player Snakeout, it's the exact same rules, but you do 2-player at the same time. Man, that's a lot of text for the intro. But if you do two-player Trapper, this is the one player controls the red snake, the other controls the green at the same time. And the object is to trap your opponent's snake with your other snake. And then you're rewarded a point if you win the round. When the game ends, high score is displayed at the top of the screen. The computer will ask you if you'd hit P to play again or a new game. Do you want to repeat the same speed? Got it. Oh, here is the snakes. Red snake, control left to right. Very nice presentation, even though it's keyboard controlled only. And then green snake is question mark and shift. Now, I don't have anybody else with me, but no, do not reread the instructions. Let's go. Load. Snakeout. All right, so let's start with one player Snakeout and see what it's like. And let's crank it up. Let's go 8. Make it fast. How many rounds? Let's just do 2 rounds. 2 rounds to go. If it's called Snakeout, it's snake. But it's not just a straight line. It actually looks like a snake. It made it all wiggly and stuff. But you move your way around. You're just trying to stay alive in this mode. So the main Snakeout game is just move around, gather points, but then don't... Oh, but you eventually will die because you're the snake that just continues to go. So yeah, it's a snake game, a little more charming than the usual ones we've seen. This one's taken a new approach that we haven't seen yet. The rest are copying from the arcade game in the 70s, like Hustle or Bigfoot Bonkers or all the other weird ones. And it looks like the snake is going away, so you could continue to play over and over again. 1 round to go. Does it even keep the score? Oh, it does. Okay, so you choose how many rounds you want. It's almost like you're picking how many level or how many lives you get. Yeah, I got the idea. Plays good. And using the keyboard controls? Sure. All right, so let's do P for a new game. Can we pick? Oh, we can't. It repeats the same one. Okay, I wanted to see what Trapper was, but I think Trapper is the same idea. It's the normal snake game. 2 people at the same time, moving around until one of them dies. So for all the games we played, it's actually all right. I'd say I was actually thinking it would be something less than the usual we've seen, but no, that's pretty standard. I'd say 3 stars for Snakeout. It's a good time, very average for 1982. We're now to the point where we're playing so many games that when it comes to rating them, we just ask ourselves, is it worth a good time to play or not? Because if you're not doing anything special, you're going to be at 3 stars, and 3 stars is nothing to shine at. All right, after that, let's press forward and see what our next game is. We're next going to the arcade, and this is Space Dungeon. Let's take a look at Space Dungeon and see what it's all about. Starting with the advertisement flyer. A game of unlimited power and untold riches. Oh yeah, that's how you sell an arcade cabinet. Just get the quarters flowing out the front. If we flip it over in the back, what is Space Dungeon? Mysterious cosmic treasures are buried deep within the Space Dungeon and await the raider who can penetrate the cosmos and gain the riches for his own ends. To collect precious space metal, the player invades the stronghold, cleverly manipulating guidance control and rapid-fire 8-way joysticks. No way, is this another twin-stick... Oh my gosh. This is another twin-stick shooting game before Robotron? How many more will there be? Armed with tremendous firepower and strategic radar screen for plotting tactics and maneuvers, you evade and destroy enemies, grab treasures, and follow arrows to the bonus room. And that's where you collect your points. And there's also a thief here. Okay, so it breaks it down at the top. It shows on the radar what what the map's going to look like, your location, and then what treasures you can pick up, like the Iron Cross, Copper Piece, Silver Star. Then you have enemies, the Piker Ship, Death Square, the Thief, the Guard, the Executioner, the Enforcer. I'm glad they give them names because it's just a mass of pixels at this point. I love it, though. Love it. There's the example of the arcade cabinet. It's Taito, but we're not going to Japan. This is released by Taito America. Believe it or not, there's the control panel. Look at that beauty. So 2 8-way joysticks. We're going to be moving our character or ship with the left joystick, and then you fire with the other joystick before Robotron 2084. What the hell is going on here? I can't believe how many games are twin-stick shooters before Robotron. But here it is, Space Dungeon. Oh, the way you're moving around, maybe it is doing a clone of Venture with Winky. It's so new, though. Winky just came out. I don't know how they copy it that fast. So here you go. Here's the manual for Space Dungeon by Taito America in 1982. There's an example of the arcade cabinet, the upright one, and then do they tell us about the game? Let's see. Yeah, Taito does a pretty good job. They got the game features and the game concept. for setup. Intro. Object of the game is to get treasure in the space dungeon. It consists of 99 levels or depths of 6x6 matrix of squares or rooms with various doors through which the player and the adversaries may leave and enter. Player's ship can move in 8 directions and has the ability to rapid fire their own laser in 8 directions to destroy the enemy. Once you go to the bonus area, it allows you to descend to the next level or depth. Some treasures are guarded. You have corner zappers to fire laser shots, and then they have the pikers and death squares will attempt to ram the player. Executioners will try to shoot the player. The thief will try to steal your treasures from the dungeon, but he will drop treasures if he's shot. Special bonuses awarded if the player completes and explores an entire depth, but if they stay in one depth too long, the deadly Enforcer appears. Oh, okay, Enforcer's like the evil Otto. The player should exercise extreme caution in the vicinity of the spore case, because if it's hit, it will explode into deadly shrapnel. Sounds exciting, and then the rest is technical. Pre-game installation, we got it all set up. It's all ready. Let's go to the arcade and play some Space Dungeon. This is by Rex Battenberg. Way to go, Rex. By Taito of America at some point in January 1982. Oh, yeah. The copyright says 1981, probably when they first were developing it. They got the high score table. You can put in your initials. And then, as usual, the instructions over on the left side. Really love all the artwork. This was put together by just a bunch of people that wanted to get the authentic artwork of what you would have played in the arcades. And that's what we want to do here, too. There's our treasures. We got to get the platinum arc. 8,000 points. Special bonus for completing exploration of a level. Oh, I'm really excited for this one. Never heard of this one. Let's see if the attract mode has more. It says you search for the dungeon for the treasure. Okay, that's us. There's our ship. There's our location. That's the bonus room. And then there's the thief. And as you move around, looks like it gives really big doors to move through. There's the thief and the treasure. The thief steals the... You kill the thief. He drops the treasure. You pick it up just by walking over it, I bet. Yeah, it does have Venture vibes. Laser fire does not penetrate the next room. There's another guard. Oh, man. Nice explosion when you die. Treasures dropped whenever you're hit, but you're not dead when you're hit. Really enjoy how these attract modes are giving you more and more info about the game before you play. I know in the arcade, whenever I would play games when I was very young, I would sit and watch to see what the game was about before I put money in. Because I would only be given $1, maybe 4 quarters. And if the game took 2 quarters, I would mostly avoid those and find the ones that only took 1 quarter. But before I put that coin in, I'd want to see what it is before making sure the game is good enough. All right, let's put a coin in. We got all the money here. And push and start. Oh, so cool. Explodes into travel. So I picked up 1 treasure. Looks like it's keeping track of the treasure on the left side. We got lots of guys coming at us now. Do they just keep coming? Wow, yeah, the firepower is real, though. So cool. Because all you have to do is take the joystick. Right now I'm moving it to the right, the second joystick, and it just auto-fires. You just go nuts. I really like how we're breaking away this enemy. They slowly break away. Nice touch. It also feels like the other ones weren't... Are they coming by? There they are. The other enemies don't just die immediately. Alright, so we go... Oh, I went to the top. You move really fast, too. So, really fast gameplay. We don't have any treasures to show for it, but you can see at the top radar, you move room to room, and you can collect treasures, but I think we have a time before it runs us out. Great feeling of exploration. I also enjoy that the games that are giving us maps or making us feel like there's more to the game than just what we see on screen, it's getting bigger and bigger. It's so much fun to see. Like the way Venture would have rooms blow up and expand whenever you got closer to it. Yeah, this one gives the same vibes. It feels like we're going in a dungeon or a maze around. So I'm picking up treasures, and this is where you can get greedy. You can keep going around to find the treasures, but if you look at the left side, it says collect bonus. Oh, there's a thief. No, I moved too fast. So all the treasures got dropped in that room, and it's going to start us at the beginning, I bet, right? No, it starts us here. Where'd the treasures? Oh, it does. Okay, it starts us at the beginning. So if we move the same path, let's see if we can sneak our way up. Here, and then if we go here, this should be all the treasures. Got it. Nice. And there's the thief. Oh my gosh, the thief moves so fast. Oh, wow. Yet another game in the arcade that I could play this game all night. So much fun. Now, we could get greedy and try to go for our lost treasures. Let's see if it'll work. But you risk dying. God, man, it gives me so many vibes of like Smash TV and Robotron, but it's not even here yet. It's not out yet. What the hell is going on? All right, we're going again. Put another quarter in and playing again. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right. You talking about Enter the Gungeon? Alright, we won't get greedy this time. Actually, we'll go back and get this one. Can we do it? And then go. Yes! So you get the treasure, and then you go in the bonus room, and that's how you actually get the points. Gets the points up for you. Now, if you see it on the top left, it says Depth 1. And now we're in Depth 2. Looks like the... Oh, I thought the thief was over here. I guess not. But the top radar tells us where the bonus room is, so we're going to go for it. Yeah, there we go. And you just move forward, collecting as much treasure as you can, and then move into the next floor. So much fun. Wow. I love it. And the play control just feels so good with the being able to move and shoot. We played a lot of shooters in space games, and when you get this kind of firepower, it feels great. Firepower. Oh, and you drop all the treasures. Sad day. Okay, let's try a different way. Let's go this way. There's the thief again. He's going for the loot. No! Oh, you touch the thief, you die too. Wow. Wasn't expecting that. Oh man, yeah, I could keep playing it so much. Alright, so Space Dungeon is excellent. This is what's bizarre. This year is when Robotron 2084 comes out, but we haven't even seen it yet, and this game feels so much like it. It's really similar. And it's given us the vibe of we're going in dungeons, like to move from room to room. It's got objectives, and you can see where the exit is. It's got the making you want to go get as much treasure as you can before you leave, but then you also risk going to explore the whole dungeon first. Man, it's so good. So is it one of the best games you could play at the time? I'm gonna go way up because of I'm gonna say 4 stars at least. I'm trying to think of something that would top. I know I'd say it's very polished for what it went out to do, and by Taito America, it's excellent. So I'm going to say 4.5 stars for Space Dungeon. It is so fun, so fun. One of the best arcade games we've seen up to this point in 1982. Love it. Okay, if you do remember, let me know. All right, so let's press forward and see our next game. We're next going to IBM PC. This is Spinout. We have no box or information for this one, so we're just going to pop in and play Spinout. Released at some point in January 1982 for the IBM PC. Welcome to Spinout. Choose a key. Okay, we can map our own keys, which means no joystick support. All right, we want to go right, left, serve, turn the noise on and off. How good are you at the game? I don't know how good we are. We'll say 5. Oh, is it Breakout? Is Spinout Breakout? It is. Oh, that is abysmal, though. There's no paddle and there's no joystick. This is keyboard. So you're familiar with keyboard controls. You tap the keyboard to move, but if you hold it down, then it repeats the cycle. That's how you move the paddle? Oh, my gosh. No way. Is there even English on this to move the ball around? Gosh, that's so bad. We've played so many Breakout clones. This one has got to be one of the worst. This is one of the worst Breakouts we've ever seen. Because of the controls. I'm kind of scared to turn sound on. Let's see what happens. Is it the IBM PC speaker? Yes, yes it is. Oh man, no. No, no, no. That's all you get. Spinout is terrible. Yeah, broken for sure. Would it be enjoyable? Okay, you could give it a little bit. It's just the keyboard controls are just so bad. Yeah, I'm going to say 1 star for Spinout. Yikes. Oh, Monolith. Cool. Yeah, I'll have to check that one out. All right, that's Spinout. And we got time for one more. Let's see what our next game is tonight. We're going to the Atari home computer. This is the Upper Reaches of Apshai, the latest in the Dungeon Quest series. Let's take a look at the box for the Upper Reaches of Apshai. So this is an expansion model for the Temple of Apshai. You pretty much run the Temple of Apshai, and then when you run it and it says what level you want, you switch out the disc and put this one in. So this is the most DLC of DLC games we've ever seen on the channel. And they didn't even call them DLC at the time. So you have to have Temple of Apshai to play. This one is the same gameplay as well, just has different modes. Does it say what it is? Yeah, it has about 150 rooms, gardens, berry patches, and caverns. We really were lacking on the berry patches in Dungeon Quest. And it's not a complete game. You must have Temple of Apshai. So kind of weird to see a game. Can you imagine going to a computer store and you buy the game and you can't even play it? You have to have the other one first. So for other artwork, we have 2 different box fronts. Interesting. Or 2 different stickers for it, looks like. Okay, one that was for both Atari and TRS. And there's the ad for it. Welcome to Apshai. You're just in time for lunch. With the disc. Yeah, and we got the manual too. So the expansion kit says, this is the small town above the ruins of Apshai, now open to adventurers. So they're kind of making it where you're getting to see more of Apshai. Like it's another world, and you get to see more places of Apshai. So this one tells you have to have Apshai to play first. And the prologue is, this is the adventures of William Nailfoot. If you wanted to play as William Nailfoot, this is the game for you. Role-playing in 1982. So now that you're at Apshai, it tells you what you do, and each level in this one has different things. So if you pick level 1, you're in the innkeeper's backyard, and your job is to clean up the yard behind the inn, which is taking care of the vegetable gardens and killing things. Yeah, there it goes. It shows off the different rooms in level 1 and the traps and different things. So it's a dungeon-style game, but very different style. So you can see level 2 is the Merlis's Cottage, and it has small little scenarios to go through. So you can think of it as this expansion pack has different scenarios to play in Dungeon Quest. Level 3 is Elias's Cellar. Level 4, I think, is what they have. Yeah, Benedict's Monastery. Do they have 5? I don't think they do. No, it's just 4 different levels, so 4 more places with lots of rooms to explore. If you like Dungeon Quest as the role-playing game, you love this. But I hate to break it to you, we've seen Wizardry and we've seen Ultima, and there's no going back now. All right, let's pop in and play The Upper Reaches of Apshai, released at some point in January 1982 for the Atari home computer by Epix. If you wanted to play a role-playing game, can we pick a different name? By the way, it's role-playing. Aren't you supposed to say the name you want? All right, we're in. So the way this game starts, you have to play Temple of Apshai. So I loaded up Temple of Apshai, and you do all the same you do as usual. So the innkeeper comes in, you have a hero, and this is the game that if you saved it on a disc, you can use that hero, load it on a new game, and then continue to play from there. So we'll just say, yay. Yay. Our character's name. Wasn't it William? We'll be William. Do you want to buy fine swords? I'm just going to say no. And do you want a shield? Nay. Nay. No, I don't want a bow either. I want 2 salves. William, thou art frugal. You have 100 silver pieces left. Monster speed. We want fast monster speed. The reason I'm saying no is we're just going to breeze right by it just to show you what the game is like. And then we say enter dungeon level. We want dungeon level 1. We'll go to the first one that it was explained in the manual. And then replace the disc. So now you take out the main disc of Temple of Apshai and you put in Upper Reaches of Apshai. And after you put it in, you hope it runs. Level complete. And then you go back to the Dungeon Master disc, which is still Temple of Apshai. I gotta have that. And go. And then you cross your fingers and toes and hope it doesn't crash. like with some of the games we played in the 80s. Come on, you can do it, I believe in you. If you saw any of the other games we played for Dungeon Quest series, the ones that control with a joystick, because an Atari joystick is awesome. So we're in. This is in. So you can see we're getting attacked by something. Do we even can we even attack? I don't know. Let's see what happens. Oh, we can. Attack. Go. This is a command-based game only. So as we're playing, the character doesn't move with the joystick. You have to put in the command. So I'm just going to put in the attack command. Oh, come on, get closer. Attack. Crunch. Come on. I wonder if we can even make it hits if... At least we're getting some animation to play on. But this view that we're seeing is the used for Dungeon Quest. What's so frustrating, though, about Dungeon Quest is you have to do commands for everything, which means turning left, turning right, stepping forward, moving around. See, like if I want to turn around, can I turn, please? Yeah, then move. You have to push V to turn around. Oh, wait, we left the dungeon. Yes, we wanted to re-enter. That was the entrance of the dungeon. Yeah, he's flesh-colored like one of those Mystique Apple II games, right? So if you want to move forward, you push the number 6, and then he walks forward 6 steps. That's how you move. If you want to move 9 steps, you push 9. You walk forward 9 steps. We're getting attacked by a lizard, it looks like. And then I'll do 6 more steps. A garden snake. The Dungeon Quest series is fantasy-oriented, and we've used to playing, get a sword, get a shield, and go and attack, creatures in a dungeon somewhere. So it's really funny that we're in a garden attacking snakes and lizards. Probably bugs, too. So Upper Reaches of Apshai is for you to explore the world of Apshai a little bit further. But I gotta say, it's so cumbersome. Doing commands to play the game, it's technically not outdated yet, but we played much better as far as role-playing games. So it would take a lot of patience. You are inhabiting playing as William, I forget his last name now, but it was terrible. So there you go. There's a brief taste of Upper Reaches of Apshai. It had a lot to go on, but as far as how well the game plays, it is subpar. It is not bad, though. For all the games that you could play up to this point, it's not a bad game, but it's 2.5 stars considering everything else we've seen thus far. Weaklefoot, Fuzzfoot. You know what? We don't have to guess. It's right here. Playing as William Nailfoot. That's terrible. Alright, so with that, we're going to put our video game playing on pause and continue. We almost finished the rest of the games released at some point in January 1982. But, oh man, so much to look forward to in 1982. Really excited. That's it for today. And like I always say, I'm up to my eyeballs in video games. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we missed any games along the way. This video would not be possible without Launchbox, RetroArch, and MAME. Tell all your friends there's some crazy guy named Chronologically Gaming trying to play every single video game. We have links down below that'll send you to places like our Discord and Patreon, and one that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go there, it's a list of everything, and you can click right to the game you want to see. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We are perpetually retro, and we will catch you next time.